Zappos started in 1999 with a really radical concept that we could sell shoes on the internet. It has also been a perennial on Fortune's Best Places to Work ranking. And for the first time this year in 8 years, they did not make the list. Almost 3 years ago now, Tony Hsieh, who's been the CEO for a very long time, came to the conclusion that a company's default position is death. What he decided to do was to change the system of how the company was run to something called holacracy. In holacracy, there are no longer any hierarchical power structures. Instead, there are these kind of concentric circles that go on top of and below each other. So your job is made up of 100 people points. And you get to decide, I want to spend 50% of my people points in this circle. The lead link of that circle is what used to be the boss. But if the lead link in the circle doesn't want you in that circle or doesn't have enough points for you, you can't go there. And if you find yourself without 100 points that have been distributed, then you have to go to this place called the beach. So if you make it to the beach after 2 weeks, you're basically fired. This kind of instability, it may be self-management. It may feel good if you're in control of your life, but if you feel like you're not, it kind of stinks. Almost exactly a year ago in March, Tony Hsieh put out a 4,300-word email to the staff in which he said, from now on, there are no managers of any kind. We are moving now to a system called TEAL. We as human beings have gone through different levels of organizational systems over time. So when we were cavemen, we were one color. And the sort of traditional corporation was orange. And the next thing is called teal. While I was there, almost no one discussed the business of selling shoes. When I looked at and talked to people who both had left and who had stayed, the question was the same. Are we ever gonna be done? And if I asked Tony that question, he would say no. As a result of Tony Hsieh's deciding to basically pay people who didn't want to be part of the system to leave, in the past year, the turnover at the company has been 29%. One thing that became very clear to me was that people didn't feel that Tony was dealing with the idea that management wasn't really trusted any longer. When you're at a company that's lost 29% of your staff in a year, when the people that have stayed are still very ambivalent about this holacracy system, and then when you have the CEO deciding after that holacracy isn't it anymore, there's something new called teal, you have to wonder, did Tony Hsieh in fact destroy the village in order to save it?